This is 11:49. Again, thanks for Mr. Joshua Bolarinwa for joining early. Thanks for Kemi Chas. Um, and for those on the panel, Kemi is also one of the great supporter, the people that I've worked with. One of my very close friends in Canada. So again, thanks for being here. We have 10 minutes for the event to start. So yeah, we'll still give people time to continue to join the webinar. Yeah, I want to be sure that people also have access to the chat. So I would ask for the attendees that we have. Thanks for joining Mr. Kelly Honora. Happy to have you here. If you can drop a chat in the chat box, I just want to be sure that you have access to the chat box.
Masha, you have a new weekend.
Sure,
Thank
you are
God.
not sure you are not on mute, please. Can you mute if you are talking? Okay. Um, Please see if the chat is enabled now. I will drop the chat.
Okay, should I go ahead and drop a chat?
Let me drop something. I just want to see if everyone is able to chat. Okay,
Okay.
awesome.
Okay.
Thank you for confirming. Um, I will also be dropping a Google form link, where you can, if you have questions, we'll take live questions, but in case you have other questions or you want to contact us or anything, um, I just dropped a web form where you can fill the form. So again, thanks for everyone that joined so far. Thanks, Dr. James. Thanks, Betty Bradley. We still have 6 minutes to start. So we'll keep waiting for people, and at exactly 12 noon Central Time, we'll be kicking things off. Um, we have a great lineup of speakers. So again, honestly, I want you to pay attention. If you have your notepad with you and your pen, these are people that have done great things in the industry. I sent an email out yesterday letting us know that Dr. Lumide Emmanuel will also be joining us. This is like an unusual opportunity. It's not someone that you get all the time, and it's a privilege and honor to have him here. So anytime it comes up, we'll probably drop whatever we are doing and allow him to speak to us. I think he has about 5 to 6 engagements today. This is a period of his rest, so he just said, okay, we will show up when he's supposed to be resting. So that's a great honor and privilege. Um, and I'll be introducing our speakers, when they're about to come in. We already have Dr. Oladipupo Clemens in the house. Privilege having him as well. He's done a lot of tremendous things in this space, both in Nigeria and North America. And I think he's a privilege, having him with us today as well and sharing from his, wealth of knowledge. Again, thank you everyone that joined early. Appreciate that you put this at the back of your mind. Betty Bradley, Dr. James, Kelly Onoa, Friday, Joshua Bolarinwa, Kenny Charles, Olalekan Kende. Thanks for being with us again at exactly 12 Central Time. We'll be kicking things up. Welcome, Pastor Abiodun Osho. We'll be introducing
Thank
him
you
in.
very much, Mr. Amao.
Yes, sir. Happy to have
How
you
are
here, sir.
you today?
We thank God we're doing fine, sir.
You're looking
Thank you.
radiant.
Thanks for
Thank
honoring
you.
us, sir.
Thank you for
Yeah,
inviting me.
it's a privilege,
Thank you
sir.
so much. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
yes, sir. Mm. We have a poll that has been enabled. If you want to interact with it, we have about 5 questions. So if you don't mind, um, yeah, you can just interact with it so that we have a bit of, you know, knowledge of where you're joining from, which particular opportunity you may be interested in, and so forth. We have to respond. Then someone from Canada and someone from US. So thanks for joining. Um, which opportunity interests you? We have one response, not sure. What concerns you most about investing in Nigeria? Um, say trust and credibility, returns and timelines. Yeah, good points. And I think those are some of the things we'll be delving into. After today's session, how interested are you in investing? Can see interested, need more details, just learning for now, and we understand. Would you like Twinlux Homes to guide you through the investment process? Yes, absolutely. Yes, but I need more info maybe later. Yeah, and that's fair. So we currently have two people from Canada, at least two people from US, and two people from Nigeria. So please continue to interact with the poll. Um, just be rest assured that your name or details they are not being stored based on the poll. So feel free to interact with the poll. Um, yeah, is non. Okay, so it's 12 already. I'm sure many people may still be joining us. If you don't mind, if you want to drop where you're joining from in the chat box. Like I said, we don't want to be known for African time. So we will be kicking things off. Um, Again, thanks for registering. This is unlocking profitable real estate and agricultural investment opportunities in Nigeria. This is a webinar curated for you. Again, I will be your host. I will be guiding you through our discussion today. I want to ensure that we have the maximum benefits, for the few hours that we will be with you, that you'll be with us. So yes, I'm truly grateful you could join us from wherever you are joining us from. What your presence tells me is that you're intentional about growth, legacy, and making informed, investment decision. Um, yeah, I'm based in Canada and I've been here for, um, close to um, 15 years or thereabout now. Um, well, let's say around 11 years or thereabout, but, growing. Um, okay, thanks, Friday from Nigeria. you know. And then over the years, I've explored, went into real estate here in Canada. And over the time, I've seen, the growth. A few years ago, I started thinking of, exploring what we can have in Nigeria as well. And there's this thing that the way I see is that sometimes when I travel to Nigeria, when I read things from Nigeria, Anthony Shabale from Nigeria, thanks for joining. When I read things about Nigeria, I see that a lot of times we run away from Nigeria, and rightly so. It may be for different reasons. But sometimes when I travel to Nigeria, I see a lot of foreigners, coming back to the country. So we are running from it. Foreigners are coming in and taking advantage of some of these opportunities. I told myself, is it not worthwhile to see what they are coming to see or what they are getting that we are not seeing. And that made me to continue to, explore. So the last time I went, I just told myself, let me, let me connect myself. Let me, try to expose myself more to the opportunities that may be available. Thanks, Pastor Additional Adeni. That's my pastor back in Nigeria. Thanks for joining. Uh, so and luckily, I started, following someone that I feel that, I love the messages, I love um, the practicality, and that's Dr. Lumide Emmanuel. So for maybe years I've been following him. Um, and, as fate we have it, I also have one of my team members who is also a pastor, Sean Kojusola, who started talking to me, so this like was a link of what I've been seeing and, him validating it. So late last year, I decided to take the steps. And the more I learn more and I see more, I see what we don't see. And I wish I knew more than, or I knew Haley, you know, more than what I knew, or but then it's not too late. Like I said, even if you are 60 years old, it's never too late. What I've learned in the last few months is blowing my mind. The testimonies I've seen, what has been done through the great man of God is just overwhelming. And I'm saying that, even when I moved here 11 years ago, or thereabouts, if I have some of these informations, where will I be? And that's where we are bringing um, this webinar to us. There may be series, but like I said, rest assured that you have a lot to learn. Um, when we get confirmation that Dr. Lumine is joining us, someone chatted me and said, "Are you sure it's coming?" I said, "Yes." And I know it's somebody who is very busy. He said, if you are sure, then I may need to change my program for today. And I said, please change it because he will definitely be with us. I think Doctor is in the house already. So I will have to pause my blabbering, so that um, we can move to Doctor. Um, because his time I know is very precious, and he has, like I said, a lot of engagement today. Um, but what I will do quickly um, is to just honestly, to be candid, I'm not sure if I'm worthy to do the introduction. But I will read through this. What I'm saying is, if you are watching someone, you are seeing someone from afar, someone that you revere. Um, this is a man that's built over 17 billionaires, and not just, 17 billionaires, that's not a joke, which means he's a multi-billionaire himself, and it's honestly a great privilege. When he said he was coming, I told my team, I said, this is a miracle. So we're happy to have you. I will read this quickly, even though it's a short profile of who he is bigger than this. Some of his mentors are speakers I will be speaking to, mentees are speakers I will be speaking today as well. So Dr. Lumide Oladapo Emmanuel, widely celebrated as the common sense guru, is a transformational leader, wealth coach, profile author, global speaker, and kingdom influencer. His impact transcends industry from ministry and leadership development to business, entrepreneurship, and philanthropy, all driven by deep passion for empowerment, excellence, and legacy building. Whether through his vast network of churches, global business initiatives, best-selling books, or life-changing mentorship programs, Dr. Emmanuel has committed his life to raising leaders, wealth creators, and kingdom ambassadors across the world. Dr. Lumide Emmanuel Its influence spans generations, industries, and continents, whether through its churches, businesses, books, training programs, or humanitarian initiatives. His mission remains the same: to raise leaders, create wealth, and build a legacy that outlives him. This is just a brief introduction, and without wasting time, I think we can give the room to Dr. Lumide Emmanuel. Thanks for coming, sir.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to everyone on this webinar. And it's nice to be able to join you people, even though just for a short time. This is my fourth meeting for today. I have one more to go. So I'm just going to be here for about 30 minutes and then move on to the next one. So thank you very much. I believe very strongly that if you know better, you do better. And in the world that we live in today, opportunities are everywhere. It is better to be prepared, waiting for opportunities, than for opportunities to come and meet you unprepared. There is a trend that I have seen with Nigerians in diaspora that needs to change. And I have a series on that, the negative trends of Nigerian diasporans, so, but let me look at a few of them and then plug that into the opportunity we want to talk about today. Number one, when a lot of people go into the Western world, the first trend that I've seen is that they do not take time to understand their economic environment. They do not take time to understand their economic environment, so they get into the Western world, and instead of going through the entrepreneurship and investment route, they go through the salary and job route. So you see them doing 2, 3, 4 jobs, struggling. But you need to understand that when you are in the Western world, you are in a capitalist environment. And capitalism is built to favor entrepreneurs and investors, not salary earners. And for you as a salary earner, you need to understand that if you don't have a seat at the table, you are the menu. So that's one trend I've seen, where a lot of people think that it's difficult to start a business, it's difficult to invest, or I just want to get a job. And there's nothing wrong in getting a job, because many people actually relocate for economic reason. So in the first few years, you probably need to do a lot of stuff to try to stabilize. But that's one thing that we need to begin to look into, so that we can move from the salary earning realm into the entrepreneurship and career realm. Another thing that I've seen is lack of collaboration. One of the things you realize is that when Jews and Asians go into the Western world, they mostly go to start a business. But when people from our own community go into the Western world, they go to look for a job. And then in the Asian community, in the Jewish community, there's so much collaboration. But in our own community, we don't collaborate a lot. We don't collaborate enough. You have a lot of people, you see them, they say, oh, I don't do anything with Nigerians. I don't do anything with Nigerians. And I'm asking myself, you are a Nigerian. You say you don't do anything with Nigerians. You have to start from the known to the unknown. And you find out that the Jews and the Asians, they collaborate, they do a lot of things together, but many of us want to do things on our own. And it is better for you to have 10% of a billion than to have 100% of 1,000. Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and all the different people that we see as rich people, they don't even own up to 20% of the business. It's because they collaborate. So our people don't collaborate enough. And that's a major issue. Number 3, which is what I would now want to focus on, is that one of the trends that I've seen with our people is the trend of always talking down and shutting the door against Nigeria. So you have a lot of Nigerians in diaspora insulting Nigeria, insulting the country, and you hear them say it's a shithole country, it's a God-forsaken country. And I'm asking myself, if it's a God-forsaken country, that means you were created by a God-forsaken country. If you talk down on Nigeria, whatever you curse cannot bless you. But what many people don't realize is that you cannot break your connection and your ties to your roots. Look at what happened in Ukraine. Not many people expected what happened in Ukraine to happen. But a lot of people that are Nigerians and people from other countries that relocated to Ukraine, they had to leave the country as a refugee. And many of them don't have anything in Nigeria to come back to. So they have to be scattered all over different parts of Europe. Look at what's happening in America right now. Look at what's happening in America right now. A lot of people are facing all kinds of stuff. Look at what's happening in the UK. Look at what's happening. So Canada, everywhere. So you find that almost everywhere in the world, people are beginning to focus more. Even in the UK, even if you have your passport, even in America, even if you have American passport now, people are moving with the agitation. So you find out that there is no security outside of where you came from. The only place you can be fully secure to say this is my own is Nigeria. Is Nigeria the way it's supposed to be? No. Is everything working in Nigeria? No. But that's the same thing where you are. Everything is not working in Canada. Everything is not working in America. Everything is not working in UK. So even though you are now in the Western world, you should never cut yourself off completely from your country, because Nigeria is still a very, very fertile ground. The kind of return, the kind of turnover that you're going to get when you invest in Nigeria, you will not be able to get that anywhere else. Yes, the economy may be lower than the economy that you are used to, but you cannot cut yourself off from your country when it comes to investment. So there are so many investment opportunities that are available in Nigeria. And I say to people, especially for those of you that have people in Nigeria that depend on you, that call you for money, you need to have investment in Nigeria that will be giving you some return. For those of you that still plan to come back home, maybe when you retire or come back home from time to time, that's also an issue. You need to know that you have something in Nigeria. So there are diverse opportunities in real estate, in farming, in tech, in entertainment, in infrastructure, in sports. Diverse opportunities that are available in Nigeria for Nigerians in diaspora to be able to invest and make good returns. Now, a lot of people have come into a place where they have become paranoid with Nigerian investment because they have a lot of testimonies of what they have seen, of how people have invested in Nigeria and something has gone wrong, how that somebody invested in somewhere, they were defrauded. But like I've said over and over again, fake is a proof of the original. There can never be a fake doctor if there's no original doctor. There can never be a fake lawyer if there's no original lawyer. So the reason why a lot of people are skeptical is because many of them have become victims of a lot of schemes that have not worked. But thank God for the opportunity you have now to be able to be connected to a credible opportunity that can help you. So there are two opportunities that I want to talk to us about. And I want us to explore that. I've shared some of those stuff with him to be able to share with you guys. Number one is the Madiba Countryside City. The Madiba Countryside City is a city we're building, is a part of the Conclave City Coalition. About 27 different developers are coming together to develop almost 10,000 acres of land into a massive city within the next 10 years. We started the project in November of 2024. And if you come to that place right now, you will not recognize that place with what has happened in less than 2 years. That's an opportunity that is open for people to either buy a land or buy acres of land or come to do what we call estate within an estate. So if you want to start your own estate, you want to be a developer, you can actually come in and then you can buy some acres within that acre. And then we have what we call the coalition opportunity for people that really want to go into estate development in Nigeria. You can get 50 acres. And with 50 acres, you'll be able to start your own estate, and we'll hold you by the hand and guide you through that process. The second opportunity is the Madiba Palm Tree Farm. The Madiba Palm Tree Farm is something we just launched this January. We did a pre-launch in October, and we launched fully in January. Now, I've been in real estate for about 30 years now. My first land was bought in 1997. 1997, 98, 99, I started buying. By year 2001, I started my first 50-acre development. So that's 25 years ago that I've started estate development. So I've been in this thing for a while. And there is so much power in real estate. But one of the things we have realized is that for many of these estate developments, you sell land to people and they are not ready to develop. And then the land is left fallow. So what we have done is to now bring in the agricultural dimension so that instead of just having the real estate asset, you can also begin to earn from the agricultural asset that we put on it. So we're doing palm tree. And palm tree is very, very powerful because everything about the palm tree is useful. There's no aspect of the palm tree that is wasted. So with the Madiba Palm Tree Project, you can buy an acre of land, an hectare or hectares. People have bought 10 hectares. We are looking at institutional buyers. We're looking at people coming together in a collaborative form to buy 10 hectares, 50 hectares, 10 acres, 50 acres of the palm tree farm. And when you buy that, 1 acre is 6 plots, 1 hectare is 15 plots. And on one plot, you have 10 palm trees. So on 1 acre, you have 60 palm trees. On 1 hectare, you have 150 palm trees. And in 5 years, you begin to earn from that. And you can earn from that for well over 40, 50, 60 years. So that's an opportunity that is also available. All the details have been sent so that those that are interested can plug into that. And then we'll be able to see how we can help you grow in that area. And one of the things that we are privileged to have done over the years is that we have been able to help hundreds of people to become billionaires and millionaires, thousands and tens of thousands of people to become landowners, and thousands of people to become homeowners. We've helped lots of people to become investors. And I believe that that's an opportunity that's available and open that everybody can explore. So I just want to share that with us and then just take time to answer maybe a few questions. I just take another 10, 15 minutes to answer questions if there are any questions before I can leave. So I just wanted to just come in and give a little chat and then answer questions. So if you have any question, I'm open to that. And then I'll leave and then all the other information will be passed on to you. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate your time again and the insights you bring. We really appreciate it. If you have any questions, you can either raise up your hand or drop the question in the chat box. If you raise up your hand, we'll give you permission to talk. So whichever you prefer. So one of the questions that someone, and I know that he dropped it like 2, 3 times. He was talking about trust deficit. He said that will be the reason why many do not want to do business in Nigeria. And he said, how can we beat the issue of trust when we have so many fraudulent people?
Okay, so when it comes to the issue of trust, there are different ways to look at it. Number one, I say to people, investigate before you invest. Now, most of the time, a lot of people don't do their due diligence. And because they don't do their due diligence, when things go wrong, instead of them to take responsibility for some things they have not done, they blame people. Because the same way we have irresponsible and fraudulent platforms, we also have irresponsible and lazy investors that are not ready to do their due diligence. If you work hard for your money, why will you let it go without doing your due diligence? So investigate, find out. If someone tells you they are selling you something, get a lawyer involved. Do your due diligence. If you have done everything that you are supposed to do and then something goes wrong, then you will know where it went wrong and you'll be able to work together with whoever you are investing in to do something about that. And then when it comes to this subject of trust, you'll be amazed. I'm amazed to realize that many of the people that are talking about trust issue, number one, they did not do their due diligence. Number two, many of them have never been defrauded. They have never been defrauded. They are only listening to somebody said, somebody said, somebody said, somebody said. So the question I ask people sometimes is, are you trustworthy? If you are a trustworthy person, are you now telling me that you are the only trustworthy person on earth? If you are trustworthy, the same way you are trustworthy, there are a lot of other trustworthy people. So do your due diligence. What is the track record of this company you are dealing with? What have they done? Who have they served? Then this thing they are selling, what is the documentation that they have? Does it really exist? And then you do your due diligence and then you plug in. It's the same issue of trust. that makes people not to collaborate abroad. Same issue. Asians will collaborate, Jews will collaborate, Nigerians say, I can't trust anybody, I don't trust. But you need to understand that every country on earth that you think is trustworthy is only trustworthy because the system works, justice works, and there's contract. And that same thing stands anywhere in the world. So I would just tell people, don't be pessimistic, be optimistic, do your due diligence, and then if you have done your part, then you have reduced to the barest minimum the possibilities of error. One of the challenges we have in Nigeria is the fact that, like I say in Nigeria, you can do everything right and still be wrong because sometimes the government themselves are wrong. But in those cases where you have done your due diligence, you have a recourse that you can now fall back on. So I hope I've been able to give some insight on that. Next question.
Thank you, sir. Next question says, which part of the country or state is Madiba Palm Tree project located?
Okay, we are located in Ogun State. So send them. I've given you all the documents. So those brochures I sent to you, the frequently asked question. So send everything to everybody.
Hello, sir.
That is on the platform.
Okay. Hello, sir. It seems we lost Dr. Emmanuel. Can you still hear me? Can everyone still hear me? I just want to be sure that it's not me that you lost him. Okay.
We can hear
so
you.
we lost. Okay, we lost Dr. Lumide Emmanuel. Suspecting that it may be a connection problem. I sent some of the frequently asked questions, some of the documents to us in the through our email. I know some of them are huge, so they may not come through. But what I would do, because people are asking questions, is to see if I can bring the frequently asked question up. So that we can run through it, and if there's any other question afterwards, you can fill the form, and I can get the information across to you. Before I share that, I think I have someone raising up their hands, so so can you unmute for Lashali patients back in the okay, maybe you raised your hand in error. Okay. I don't know if I gave you permission to talk, maybe Mrs. or Miss Folash had patients back in there, but I didn't hear anything. So,
I think someone complained about being unable to unmute themselves. To me now.
who is the person? Because I've tried.
Dapo just sent me a message that is unable to. How do you unmute yourself?
So you have to raise your hand, and I will have to give you permission.
Oh,
Then
okay.
you can now unmute yourself. So that's the process because we don't want everyone talking over everyone. Yeah. So raise your hand. I will call you and give you permission to talk. Yeah. So can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, so I'll quickly run through the Madiba. Someone asked where is the location. So we have two locations, Itori and Ewekoro LGA. Allah in Obafemi Owode LGA. Who are the owners of the
so sorry. The
Okay, sir.
network and everything was just well, Bosun, I just send them all the brochures and everything I sent to you.
All
So
right, sir.
the land, we have 2 locations. Is 1,000 hectares in one location, 1,000 hectares in another location. So one of them is in Itori in Ewekoro, and then the second one is in Obafemi Wode. So there are 2 locations, but they are both in Ogun State. Yeah. Another question?
Thank you. Is there any other question related? Okay, someone is asking for the lifespan of the projects.
Okay, so everything is on the brochure you will send to them, but so send the brochures I sent you to everybody. The project lifespan is 40 years. So if you invest in the palm tree, the land is your own forever. We're going to give you the documentation for all the land. The land is your own forever, but the palm tree, we expect everybody to stay in the palm tree for at least 40 years before we now look at other options. So those that will be alive and running it then, they'll be looking into that. And then for the Madiba countryside, the land is your own forever. You can build on it and do whatever you want to do.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So the brochure has frequently asked questions that answers almost all the questions that people have. So just send the brochures and the form to anybody. And like I said, I'll give you the number. Anybody that is interested, just contact me directly.
All right, sir. Okay, any other questions before we release?
Someone asked how much is the least amount you can invest with?
Yes, it's 6 million per acre, and it's 15 million per hectare. So 6 million is the minimum. And then if you have siblings, you have friends, you guys can come together and buy as a team. So you can collaborate with other people. So it's 6 million per acre, 15 million per hectare.
Okay. I think those are all the questions we have for now.
Okay. Thank you very much. Permission to run away.
Permission granted,
Okay,
sir.
guys.
God bless.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Bye, sir. Okay. Like I said, I think that's been informative enough. Like I said, it's a privilege having him. He's been in 4 events today, so this is the fourth one. So we're glad to have him. If you have other questions, we'll still deal with them at the end of this program. I dropped a link in the chat box as well. There may be questions that maybe we didn't deal with or we didn't get to, or maybe you need more information. You can fill the form and we'll reach out to you as soon as possible. Now, without wasting time, I will go to our next speaker, Dr. Oladipupo Clement. I met him recently, and the first time we spoke, is like wanting to get into, speak with someone who you've heard what he's doing, especially in this space. And, sometimes you want to get into a discussion like this, you are not even sure how you keep up that kind of discussion, what it will look like. So you think it will just be like a 5-minute talk, and that day we end up spending like 1 hour. And I said, wow. And the insight I got, someone was just eavesdropping and the person said, this is like a lecture on his own, you know. And the person has been in real estate who was eavesdropping was like, this is far more than just a chat. So he said, I'm hearing something very new. So this is a kind of knowledge, practical, insights, and experience that this person is bringing to the table. I will quickly introduce him. I'm sharing my screen. We'll be bringing on Dr. Oladipupo Clements. who is a trusted expert in real estate, wealth creation, business growth, and strategy with over 2 decades of experience, renowned for his insights. He's a sought-after conference speaker and the accomplished author of several books, including his bestsellers, Financial Freedom Master Guide, Finding What Works for You, Rewrite Your Financial Story, and Just Before You Start a Business. He champions the crusade for the economic emancipation of the average African through platforms such as Wealth Creation Summit and Mega Housing Summit. He currently serves as the CEO of LifePage in Nigeria and the US. He has co-founded other companies within the agriculture, construction, and software development sectors. Dr. Olatunbosun holds an MBA from the prestigious business school in Canada. So welcome, Dr. Olatunbosun Clement.
Thank you so much. And should I say good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining from. So excited to be here. Thank you so much, Mr. Bosun, for the invitation to be here. I'm honestly honored as well. Truth is that you put me in the midst of two power brokers. Dr. Olumide Emmanuel is a revered mentor, my very, very revered mentor. I've been under his tutelage now for this month makes it exactly 26 years. And so I'm like a man that is cut from the same cloth. So you would understand as we progress. Pastor Abiodun Osho is my mentor. And, he's one man that I call my mentor all of the time. Everywhere I speak and I refer to him, I say my mentor. And then he calls me his brother, he calls me his friend. So, but I know Igimujin or sorry, for those of you who understand Yoruba language, you would understand. But I hope that within the few minutes I have, I'll be able to share some thoughts and hope I will make some sense. So when you have to speak after Dr. Olumide Emmanuel has spoken, it's a high level. I would have requested rather that you allowed me to speak before he does. But again, I understand how crazy the schedule can be. So let's get right into it. I want to share with us on my intention with this particular session is to essentially provide us some type of guidance so that whatever investment decision or choices we're going to be making in the course of our journey in life, you can be your own investment advisor, you can be your own investment counselor, so to speak. And so that's pretty much what I want to do. So I'll be sharing with us on what I've titled 7 components of wise investing. So wherever you are in the world, whether you are looking to invest back home in Nigeria, or wherever else you want to invest, this will serve like a template, a guide. Okay, so I recently co-authored a book, and the book is currently on pre-order. I co-authored it with my business partner, Beyond Land and Houses. Mr. Bosun also he himself has pre-ordered the book. So it's something I consider that book a manual for anybody who wants to invest in real estate. If you want to unlock the real wealth of real estate, then that book is one book. It's a must read. It's not just a must have, but a must read. Okay, so now there is only one way to multiply money. Only one way. By the way, my name is Olatunbosun Clement, and I'm in the business of making lives richer. I am extremely passionate about seeing people create and retain their wealth. That's what I do. That's my life calling. I'm called to damage poverty. So that's my calling. Anybody who has known me for upward of 26 years or 20 years can testify that that's one thing that's been most consistent about my life. So there's only one way to multiply money, and that one way is by investing. There's only one way, and it's by investing. We make money by working, by solving problems for people, by adding value, by meeting needs. That's how we make money. The more problems we solve for people, the more money we make. We manage money through budgeting, and we multiply money through investing. And these simple things I've just said are so critical. And so in the journey to financial freedom or to wealth, there are 5 levels, and I want to quickly begin from there just to lay an important foundation for what I want to share. I don't know if I can share my screen. I already drafted something. I don't know if I can share my screen. I drafted something so that I don't waste time, because this is really not the core of what I want to share, but it's going to help us make, first and foremost, identify exactly where we are. Can I share my screen now?
Yeah, I think you can. Is it not enabled?
Okay, let me see if it.
Yes, we can see your screen. Sorry.
One second. Yeah, I think it's in. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, we can see, sir.
Okay, great.
That's like a pod. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So now, in my book, Financial Freedom Master Guide, which I'm sure anybody can also get on Amazon and all of that, I documented this. This essentially, it's what describes your journey to financial freedom or wealth. We call it the wealth pyramid or the journey to financial freedom. So I just want to quickly run through this. The reason this is so important is because everyone on this call and everybody they know, everybody on this call or everybody they know fall into any of these 5. And so starting from the bottom up, you have financial crisis. The category of people, you have the vast majority of people who are in financial crisis across the globe. And what describes this category of people? A good number of people in financial crisis are people who are not making money, but they spend money, because all of us are gifted spender, right? So, and because we are all gifted spenders, whether or not you make money, you spend money. And so that means there are 3 possibilities for people who are not making money. Number 1, you start begging for money. When you run out of people to beg from, then you start borrowing money. When you run out of people to borrow from, then you start cutting corners, you start scamming people and all of that. Now, none of these 3 options are honorable, but the third one will certainly land you in jail. Okay? And so you find people in financial crisis, and this is where a great number of people are, even back home in Africa. There's a small fraction of people, though, who could also be in financial crisis. These are a small group of people who have successfully built a portfolio of assets, fixed assets, but those assets are low in cash flow, or have no cash flow, low or no cash flow. That also you can be $1 million worth or $1 million in assets. You can be $10 million in assets, and ordinary 1 million, ordinary $5,000, $10,000 you can raise. So that also spells a measure of financial crisis. The second level of people in that category is financial instability. Now, these are people who are currently making money, but their take home doesn't even take them home. So we can say they are underemployed, right? Or not gainfully employed, as the case may be. And the number of people in this category also are quite enormous. And then you have people who are in some degree of financial stability. Now, people who are in this level are those who, for some strange reasons, they live fairly comfortably wherever they live anywhere in the world. They live in nice neighborhoods, live in good homes, they go on periodic vacation, their children go to nice schools, they have everything. So their take home takes them home. They're fairly comfortable. In fact, this category of people are often referred as rich in Africa. The challenge with this category of people, though, is that should anything tamper with their current source of active income, they will be back to financial instability or financial crisis. Why? Because their lifestyle is premised solely on their ability to continue to work. So they've honed their skills, they are adding value to the economy, and so the economy is also rewarding them. But should they lose that source of income, active source of income, they are back to financial instability or financial crisis. So it's not really stable in that sense, all right? Because they still need to continue to work if they must maintain that lifestyle. The fourth level is financial independence. Financial independence is that point in a person's life where the proceeds from your asset and investments can meet your personal and family needs without you having to work another day. And it's a place everybody can plan for, regardless of where you are in the world. Okay? Financial independence is that point where your passive income can now replace your active income. So if, for example, as somebody who is in financial stability, you earn $100,000 a year, you'll be considered financially independent if your investments and assets can produce the same $100,000. Does that make any sense? That's pretty much what it means to be financially independent. Now, financial freedom, which is the fifth level and the peak of this journey. Financial independence is good, but it's not the ultimate. Financial freedom is really the ultimate. And that's pretty much what my calling is about. And that's what I do. And that's why I do what I do. And some of the things I've been privileged to pioneer. Financial freedom is that point in a person's life where the proceeds from your assets and investments is not only capable of meeting your personal and family needs, but it's also able to extend goodness and kindness to others, right? We were not created, God didn't, the ultimate plan and purpose of God for us is not to bless us, it's also make us a blessing. And this is where you derive the highest level of fulfillment, and not by any other means. It's not by accumulation only, it's also by donation. And you will not be remembered for what you own. You will be remembered for the lives that you impacted, the lives that you touched. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has made reference to Dr. Olumide Emmanuel for the impact he has made in my own personal life. There are thousands upon thousands of other people who have directly benefited from it. And today, we are also extending that same thing all over the world. Now, when someone is in financial crisis or financial instability, there is what they must do, and that's what I want to quickly touch on. And because I've already noted it. Now, for somebody who is in financial crisis, who does not make money or hardly makes money, there needs to be an aggressive mental shift. There has to be an aggressive and massive, development of in-demand skills, scarce skills, soft skills. So critical. Why? Because money is a reward for solving people's problems. So the reason you probably are not making enough money, right, where your take home is not taking you home, is likely because you are not adding enough value. You're not solving so much problem, and you are not solving it at scale, right? But it takes skill to do that. Again, the type of mindset, the difference between the wealthy and the poor is in their thinking, nothing else, right? We all have equal 20, we all have 24 hours, right? We're all confined by space, but there's a quality of thinking that requires to produce a level of result that most people here hardly have. Okay, and that has to be addressed. I know we are here to talk about opportunities, but I hope I'm not out of line. Am I still okay to continue, or should I abort this and go into the next? All right. So now, for people who are, I know my time is already spent, so let me just say a few words. For people who have financial stability, you need to manage and multiply money. So the biggest challenge for people in financial stability is that they are making money, but they are not managing their money well, and they are not multiplying the money. If they do that well, they will become financially independent. If you are already making money, then you get financially independent. And then at financial independence, what you need at that point is optimization and retention of what you are making, of the assets you have accumulated. So it's asset optimization and retention, essentially, right? So whatever you already own that is producing for you, you want it to produce more or better. That's what you focus on at this level. And once you hit financial freedom, you are talking legacy. Asset and income protection is pretty much what you want to do. I won't be able to go into too much of this, but I hope that makes some sense. So now, if you must achieve financial freedom or create wealth, then you need to know, and the only way to create that wealth is by investing. Then what are the guides? What are the templates? What are the things you should look out for to make such decisions? One is you need to define your objectives. You need to define your objectives. Your what must define is what defines your why is what determines your what. And that's very, very critical. Are you investing, for growth, capital appreciation, or are you investing for cash flow, or are you investing for both? Sometimes you want growth, you want appreciation, you also want cash flow at the same time. You need to be clear on that. Why? Because your why will determine what asset class is most suitable. All asset classes, all investment instruments would not necessarily align with your objective. And as our phases differ, so will our objectives most likely be. So why do you want to invest? You have to be crystal clear on that. Because of time, I wouldn't talk too much in that respect. So, but define your why, and then your what will show up. Number 2 is your risk tolerance or profile. All investments, every investment that has a measure of return carries an element of risk. But when we talk about risk, I want to talk about it from two dimensions. One is your risk profile as a person. How much risk can you tolerate? How much, how much can you afford to lose? Most times when people ask you about investment, they only talk about what you can make. They rarely talk about what you can lose. But smarter investors evaluate that and put structures in place to mitigate the possibility of that loss, right? And that's why it's important. So risk profile or risk tolerance talks about you as an investor, and all of us do not have. Now, I always say to people, there's no such thing as risk-free investment anywhere. There are only low risk, moderately risky, aggressively risky investments. So define which one describes you. Are you a conservative investor? Do you just want marginal growth, arithmetic growth? If you want aggressive growth, then you'll be exposed to aggressive risk, some sort of aggressive risk. So you want to define yourself first. Then the next type of risk is the attendant risk associated with that asset class. All assets, which is why I personally love real estate. I mean, I was in investment banking for 7 years, 4 months, and I played largely in the stock markets, went to portfolio management and all of that. And it was quite a volatile market. Yes, you have to dissect loads of information to make investment decisions, but it's a market that is driven by so much information. You have to be really deep into data to make those type of investments, and then your investment could disappear into thin air overnight. So anyways, so attendant risk associated is one other very important component of wise investing. You want to make investments, you want to ask yourself, what is the worst thing that can happen with this particular, how volatile, how stable, some, like I say, even real estate could have maybe stable, all right, but it could have liquidity risk. Do you understand? There could be environmental risk. So you need to appraise those risks associated with each type of investment that you want to go into. Those are the type of questions you need to begin to ask anytime opportunities are presented. Now, this is to serve as a guide. As much as we want to create wealth, we must be aware of all the other dimensions of those investments. So the other thing you want to look at, number 4, is return on investments. So like I said, risk and return are Siamese twins. They are inseparable. So every time you are talking risk, you are talking return. Every time you are talking return, there is risk. So you want to now ask yourself, what type of return is suitable for this measure of risk I'm willing to take? Does that make any sense? Right? And it's very, very important so that you can plan, right? And then because some type of risks with time will be null and void, right? And so if you are the long-term investor, for example, which is why real estate is powerful, is suitable for long-term. The capital market is also very good for long-term and all of that. So anyways, my story is too much. How much profit is fair enough for the risk that you are exposed to? You need to define it. You need to be clear on that. Because we do not have so much time, I just need to gloss through this. If you get either my Financial Freedom Master Guide or the book I just co-authored, I documented this. In fact, the one that we recently published, that one has everything in details. All right. So the component of wise investing was captured in there in details, even better than the Financial Freedom Master Guide. Anyways, the 5th component of wise investing is budget. right? How much money do you have at your disposal, right? So you may like certain type of investments, but your capital may not be fit to play in that space, except you come as a group, except you come as a team, like Dr. Olumide Emmanuel was sharing. Number 6 is inflation. And this is part of the mistakes a lot of people make. Every time you're making an investment, you must ask yourself, does this investment serves as a hedge against inflation or devaluation? You want to be crystal clear on that. Okay. That's why savings is not an investment. You don't save as an investment. You save for investment. Why? Because all over the world, there's no savings. There's no interest on savings that beats inflation. None in the world. It satisfies only short-term obligations, short-term goals and agenda, but it's certainly not suitable for your mid-term and long-term obligations. So you want to ask yourself, does this investment that I'm putting money in, does it beat inflation? Does it hedge against inflation? And so those are very critical questions you need to ask. And finally, you want to ask yourself is, how much time do you have? Somebody who is retiring in 5 years and somebody who's retiring in 20 years, who has more time, right? Who has more time to play with? And then time is the most veritable tool for minimizing risk. Knowledge is one of them as well. The more knowledgeable you are, the better you are able to read in between the lines and interpret seasons of life. And let me say this here, since it just came to mind. The next 5 years is going to be defining. The next 5 years. While it will be defining between the poor and the rich. The gap after 2030 between the poor and the rich will be so wide apart that it's like the moon, the sun from the earth. So don't joke with your investment. So whether or not you are doing business or you are investing with whatever, or you are taking advantage of the opportunity that Mr. Bosun will be sharing with us or not, please don't joke with this next 5 years. It's critical. If you've never taken your investment, your financial health very seriously, the next 5 years is too critical to ignore. And I say that because of some data that I'm privy to, both from a spiritual dimension and then from a strategist standpoint. So look at the time that you have and use time to your advantage. Any investment you are doing now, once you are able to meet up with your 5 year, once you set up an emergency fund that covers for 3 to 6 months living expenses, the next important thing you need to focus on right now is the next 5 years and beyond. All right? And I think that's where I'm going to stop. We've got loads and loads of opportunity, and I will leave everything to Mr. Bosun to share. I'm still available to take questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Clement. That's a very wonderful session, and I hope we've gained a lot from that. We'll be open the room for questions, but what are we? The question that we ask is that I will have time to share tons of opportunities because there are a lot of opportunities in Nigeria. It's not that we are not just taking advantage of them. So I would say maybe in 5 minutes, can you share a couple of opportunities? I know there are tons of them, just a couple. If, for example, because again, like you said, it's mindset shifts, a couple and the potentials and maybe based on your own experience. Because this webinar is not really to try and even sell to people, it's to educate and let them see the potentials that we have in Nigeria.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got some Richland City in Obafemi, which is also a part of the Conclave City Coalition. We are part of the 27 developers within that program also. So wherever you decide to go into, you are taking advantage of the big vision. It's a 5 to 10 year development plan, and Dr. Olumide Emmanuel is the one leading all of us, and it's a massive vision. And any smart person knows that the future is cheap if only you buy it now. So there are opportunities in that regard. So Richland Cities and Obafemi Owode is one of such. Then we have Ashford County in Gwagwalada, Abuja. It's also another major location, major investment. It's just off Secretariat Road in Gwagwalada when the federal capital was taken from Lagos to Abuja. The first point of call was in Gwagwalada, so before the FCT was actually created, and that's essentially where this particular estate is. It's still way cheaper now. It's way cheaper now than what it will be. Just a matter of time, so people can take advantage of that as well. All the details are available. We also have Richland City Golf and Resorts in Motai Korodu. That's also another. In fact, we've already filed, our papers for C of O, and right now anybody who is plugging in will be getting it at the barest minimum, because once the C of O is finally out, you can share all the details with you once you need that. So, but anything you are doing with each of these locations, you'll be looking at it from a land banking standpoint, especially the Richland City, Obafemi Owode, or Richland City in Motai Korodu. You should look at it from a land banking dimension. We always recommend that rather than do cash banking, do land banking. I don't want to go into too much exegesis or explanation of what land banking is, what is not, and all of that. But I think that we can make some more information available when we need further clarity. But please, like Dr. Olumide Emmanuel said, always investigate before you invest, right? So there's nothing really to worry about. I'm so glad that we align, Mr. Bosu and I align. The objective for me is come and share, guide people. Whether they do business with us or not, it's fine. Just be guided, period. And then we're good. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So again, I mean, there are tons of opportunity, and like Dr. Clement said, we want to ensure that we're guiding people. I know someone was asking questions around trust and all those things. When we were setting up, and for people that know me, they know that the idea is not, we want to be rich, but we don't want to be rich at the expense of people. And that's why we have decided to only work with and partner with verified company, and walk people through, a verified process. So again, this is how we can ensure that we're only working with credible people. So again, the room is open for questions. You can raise up your hand, or you can drop a message in the chat box. Dr. Clement is still with us. This is an opportunity to ask any questions that we may have. What I will take you back to someone that asked question, and I hope he's still, I think it's Mr. Kimbi is still in the room. Adedeji, who was talking about trust deficits, what is your thought on that? Said, how can we build the issue of trust when we have so many fraudulent people? I know Dr. Lumide touched on that, but what is your thought around that?
All right. So when it comes to the subject of trust, the way I'm going to say it, until you are into a particular field, for example, you never know that particular industry exists. But the moment you join that particular field, you start seeing everybody is doing what you are doing. In every industry, I can tell you there are great people and there are bad eggs. Unfortunately, those bad eggs have ways where they create a wrong reputation for a vast majority. In Nigeria, there are many things that, like Doctor said, that you can do right and then still go wrong. But essentially, what I would just say is that trust is earned. You want to check the history of the organization, the individuals that are behind whatever project. What have they done before? Right? What are they doing now? And then what are their plans for the future? You want to look at that. Doctor has been in this for over 30 years, right? Our company will be 14 years that we've been running it full time. We've been running full time. And I recall that those early days, people used to say, "Oh, I wish that you people would still be here." We are still here. We are still here. And I say that to say that investigate, just like Doctor said, before you invest. Anybody who feels you are asking too much question doesn't deserve your money. Any company that says your wala is too much with all this query, all these questions. I love to tell the stories before people part with their hard-earned funds. That's my culture. And yes, there are times when there are things would happen that are completely beyond your control. In such instances, the onus is on you to communicate. And I think occasionally that's where some organizations, even ours, may have failed at some point in time. But not that you are out to defraud people. This mission is big. And it's for a long time. Where we are coming from is nothing compared to where we are still going. And so we will not allow what we're doing or what we've done or what we're doing right now to destroy the future. Sometimes my team said to me that I'm not marketing, that I'm too honest to a fault. I will tell you exactly the way it is. I would rather that you do not do business with me and I have a relationship with you than you do business and then we don't have relationship. Right. So let's investigate the assets, investigate everything we're talking about, investigate the institution or the organizations, the people behind those organizations, and then and let your gut lead you, because really sometimes something can be flashy and then there's nothing behind it. And then something may not be flashy yet there's so much value behind it. So let that guide you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I have a question here. It says, I have a friend whose mom makes almost 9 to 10 figures monthly, but she's never convinced about real estate, even though they've tried to. What's the best way to put some trust to them on this so they find peace investing in it, because this could bring generational wealth?
I get the question. I'm not in the business of convincing people, to be honest with you. I'm just so detached from whether anybody wants to make it or not. My job is to just make sure that I communicate what will better their lives. Whether they now choose it or not is their choice. Do you understand? So what you should tell such a person that is already not convinced, there's nothing I'm going to say. There's nothing I'm going to say, other than what we have already shared, So, some time ago, doctor was sharing, we're in a meeting and he was sharing that, said, is he your family member that is the pilot? Every time you fly, do you know the pilot? Do you trust that you will leave here and get to your destination? So we take risk almost every single day. And that is a case in point. So if the problem the person has is a problem of trust, I can almost guarantee you it's not just with investments. It's most likely going to extend to even personal relationships, marital, and all of that. And you can't cure that. It may be rooted in a trauma, childhood trauma, or some type of. So therapy is what the person needs, not advice, not guidance like this, right? So I won't say more than that. I'm sorry if I sound maybe disrespectful. I don't know what. I'm sorry, but that's the way I sense that. Yeah, because there's nothing you can do to satisfy some people. I don't know if any of you have ever encountered people like that. There's nothing you can maybe until you die, then they will believe that you are telling them the truth. But I won't need to die to prove a point to someone like that. So that's my yeah. Because even with strong evidences, strong proof, some people will still not believe. Right. Again, let me say this, especially for Nigerians in diaspora. By the way, I'm also streaming right now from Atlanta. So I'm also in diaspora in Nigeria, shuttle between the two countries. And I can tell you for free, from what I have seen consistently, I can relate with people at home. I can relate well with people in diaspora. Very, very well. I mix with everybody. And the things I've identified is this. Many of us are judging how things are done in Nigeria by how things are done here in the West. And that's a big error. Things work by system. In Nigeria, things don't work based on systems necessarily. It doesn't work based on merit. It works based on who knows who. So it's man or man. Nigeria does not run on meritocracy. So you need cultural intelligence to understand how things work. And that's also part of the challenge, and hopefully it will change with time. So, but people don't believe until, and that's one thing that this place the Western world has strengthened to a very large extent. I don't know if I made sense with that.
Thank you, sir. We have the next question. It says, hello, doctor, please share a story of someone without mentioning name who has taken this opportunity investing and how well they are doing.
We have plenty. In fact, if you get the book, we have plenty. In the book, we ensure that the book, Beyond Land and House, is not an academic book. It's a book that you will see yourself inside. It's a book with a lot of stories, with a lot of simplified processes, right? Without jargons, without anything that will confuse you, right? And we have loads and plenty of stories of people who have, let me just give an example. There was a guy who, after he purchased, he currently lives in his house in one of our estates. And this guy said that he is the first in his family, in his lineage, not even his family, in his lineage, to ever own a house outside the family house, in his entire lineage, is the first. And we have plenty of such stories. We have done allocations in time past where people were crying when we were doing the allocations, like, we didn't know, because at the time we were doing the project, it felt like it was too good to be true, right? And so we have plenty of that. Have plenty of that. If you need further proofs, you can reach Mr. Boston. And then we'll give you all the things that you need to know. But I recommend you also get the book. It will also provide you further guidance in all your real estate adventure.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yeah, that's when I saw that question. Yeah, that's why I said, I mean, there are tons of people, there are many stories.
Plenty.
Yeah, and maybe when I saw that, saw that question, I was thinking maybe we'll do like a webinar where we just be stories.
Plenty.
Mhm. Do we have any other questions for Doctor? If there are no questions, Doctor, I hope you are not rushing. I want to bring Pastor up,
Okay.
so
Not a
that
problem.
other questions may come after Pastor Abiodun's presentation.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time.
Oh, Bosun, you're muted. You're muted. We can't hear you.
Bossman, you're muted.
Okay, yeah, I'm back. I thought I can speak being muted and you still hear me. Sorry. So part of when we, look at, there is a difference in looking for opportunities in Nigeria, and there is another thing to say, all these things that you are saying, I don't have money to do it. Or where will I get money from? And people will say, people who have done business borrowing money in Canada to do business, and that turns into maybe what led them into where they are. The first time I bought a property with a friend of mine. That will be one of the first, I think is on this webinar as well. It's like borrowing money and saying, let's try it, and we could see what it did, I have friends here who have that kind of story as well. But then the problem we always have is that in Nigeria, do we have that opportunity to do that? But when you see someone who is done well in this, where we are at or what we are looking to do, and is able to say that, I will support you. What you get, abroad, we can create it here as well. And he's saying that, I will work with these credible companies, but if you need money, I will lend you. And that's, to me, when someone is talking about trust, is to say that someone is saying that it just brings more. I will give you more for this organization. If there's no trust, I don't think anyone, one of the things I work in the bank, one of the things that you want to protect your capital. So if a bank is saying that I'm ready to put my capital behind whatever you are doing with this company, that shows that there is huge, credibility. So I will quickly just read the profile of Pastor Shaw. Again, thank you so much for coming. This is also a great privilege. Pastor Abiodun Shaw is an ordained minister of the gospel, a church planter, and a serial entrepreneur. He's a graduate of the University of Lagos with an MBA from a prestigious business school in the Netherlands. For over 25 years, he has combined God's robust grace in ministry and the marketplace, leading numerous evangelistic missions to rural communities, and have established so many churches in the rural communities of Lekki, Pepe, Ikorodu, and Badagry in Lagos State, Nigeria. Pastor Abiodun is a business strategist, venturing in ICT, real estate, food, media, tourism, healthcare, and insurance. He has founded many companies and businesses within Nigeria and outside Nigeria. Pastor Abiodun Osho is a passionate evangelist, pastor, and teacher. He's the president of Kingdom Outreach International Ministry, a non-denomination mission outreach ministry to the unreached people and places, and Setman and lead pastor of Dominion Harvest International Ministry, a fast-growing family church in Lagos State, Nigeria. He's also the convener of Dominion School of Ministry, DSM, the Bible and Leadership Development Center designed to equip kingdom-minded believers for ministry. He's married to Philomena Osho, and they are blessed with 4 children. Welcome, sir, Pastor Osho.
Yes. Yeah, Mr. Bosso.
Thank you,
How
sir.
are you today?
Doing great, sir. Doing great, sir. Good to have you here, sir.
Inviting me. I'm so excited to be in this webinar tonight. Thank you so much for what you do. I want to appreciate you and your team. I appreciate Twinlux Homes. The first time I spoke with you, I felt so much in love with you because you are doing very well in Canada. And not only you are doing well in Canada, you actually have a heart that can create wealth for Nigeria in diaspora. And I want to say thank you so much for what you are doing. God bless you. And I want to acknowledge Dr. Olumide Emmanuel in absentia. It will actually surprise you that I've known Dr. Olumide Emmanuel for about 25 years. And I believe destiny connected us. I was under Dr. Olumide Emmanuel for about 15 years. So before we started our own church, I think about 10 years ago. So, and I'm still under him, still learning. So he's my spiritual father and he's my mentor too. So there's that connection. And Oladipo Clement, I've known him also for about 25 years. So, so you brought families to this meeting tonight. That is awesome. So I want to appreciate everyone from different parts of the world. My name is Osho Abiodun, and I'm the CEO of Asset Plus. And I listened carefully to Dr. Olumide Mane, and I listened carefully to Dr. Oladipo Clement. Dr. Olumide Mane is actually the chairman of Madiba. He's also the chairman of Common Sense Group. And Mr. Dr. Oladipo is the CEO of LifePage. And he said they have been making, in the company, they have been making lives very richer. So thank you so much for, when I was listening about trust, which I think I'm still going to talk on that. But let me say this, there is a Chinese proverb that said the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. And the second best time is now. And I will tell you my story. As a student in UNILAG 1990, 1991, we had a crusade in Lekki, Lakowe precisely. And after the crusade, they gave us a land free of charge to plant a church, because at that place there was no church at that particular time. And it was a testimony back on campus. Oh, they gave us a land. And some people said, no, we can't take it free. We had to buy it. Just like he said, like the servant of God said, I won't give to God what cost me nothing. So we decided to pay for the land. And guess how much we paid? We paid 500 naira. And it was the first time I had deed as a student. Some of the brethren in the law faculty say we have to do deed. We pay for it, we do deed. And we did deed and we paid for 500 naira. And you can imagine what Lakowe is saying now. And a student could actually buy at least a plot of land. As a student, I could actually buy a plot of land there, because I remember when I entered UNILAG, when I was writing my list, I mean, my sister gave me over 1,000. Not so much money. Many people gave me money. I could actually buy 2 plots of land. But we never saw tomorrow. There was something I read today on one of our customers. He's a lecturer in South Africa, he's in Nigeria. He said in the next 5 years, Lagos will become more unaffordable. And he said not because of infrastructure. It will become more unaffordable because of demand. So when Dr. Oladipo was saying by 2030, everybody must be able to define where it belongs. Either you are rich or you are poor. I mean, by the grace of God, I have 2 graduates now, and I keep telling them, invest, invest, invest. So when you see the way why we are so passionate about real estate now, is because I've seen people making money to real estate. I listened the other time to the founder of Earpiece. The man said he had made billions to real estate. He started an airline business just to give back to the community. So I will encourage every one of us to take real estate seriously, because the real estate is the real investment. Let me tell you what we do in Asset Plus. What we do in Asset Plus is actually to bring to Nigeria. It's the first of its kind in Nigeria and in Africa. Because in UK, personal loan is still more than, is not single digit. But mortgage is single digit. Canada is single digit. And US single digit. But in this part of the world, in Nigeria, interest is over 30%. And it is hard for you to go to bank to get mortgage to buy a house. Is not even is a no-go area for you to even go to bank and say, oh, I want to buy a land. Bank don't buy land for anybody. And bank will even prefer to buy a car for you, buy inverter for you, buy visa for you than to buy a house for you. And they call it asset financing. But the question is, which one is asset? Is it the one that depreciates or the one that appreciates? Because when you buy a house today, Nigeria is just a fantastic place where you can buy a property within 2 years is ×2. You can buy a land within 2 years ×3, ×4, ×5. It's such an environment. But if you buy a car today for 350 million, if you want to sell it tomorrow, if he has a number, the person buying it will just tell you that it's already a second hand. And that is depreciation minimum of 20%. It doesn't appreciate. It depreciates in value. So we understand this. So in Asset Plus, the only thing we finance is only real estate. We don't finance anything outside real estate because we know real estate, we appreciate in value. You can't get it wrong because God has created the earth. No machine to manufacture more. Everybody, every land is as owner. So when you are buying land, you only change your ownership. When you are buying house, you are only changing ownership. Every real estate as owner. And it's good that we take advantage of it. So in Asset Plus, what we have done is actually to make people's dream of owning real estate a reality. In Asset Plus, we provide mortgage at a single-digit interest of 9%. That was why I told you what we are doing in Nigeria is the first of its kind, and it's the first of its kind in Africa. So what we have done in Asset Plus is to partner with few real estate companies. So we have 9 of them. So if anyone wants to buy from any of these real estate companies, we provide mortgage finance at 9% for their customer. Dr. Olumide Emmanuel is one of the companies that we provide mortgage for. So any property of Dr. Olumide Emmanuel you want to buy, Asset Plus will finance it at a single-digit interest. If you want to buy any property, so Dr. Olumide Emmanuel is one of them. Also, Dr. Oladipo Clement is the CEO of Life Page, is one of the companies too we partner with. So if you want to buy anything from Dr. Oladipo Clement, if you don't have the money, Asset Plus will provide the mortgage finance for you at a single-digit interest. And what we do is simple. So when you settle, you want to buy any of their property, either land or houses. Because some of these companies that I just mentioned, there are about 9 of them, Common Sense Limited, which is owned by Dr. Olumide Emmanuel, Life, which is owned by Dr. Oladipo. We have Pertinence, we have Lekmark Estate, we have GMH Luxury. GMH Luxury is building the biggest apartment in Lekki Phase 1. They have houses in Ikoyi, Bagada, and Retomas, Terranos Limited, Property Platform, and Soft After. So these are 9 companies. Majority of the companies are in Lagos. It's the only one that we have in Port Harcourt. So all these companies, they have land and houses in Ikoyi, in Lekki, Bagada, Ikorodu, Epe, Mowe, Atan, Abeokuta, Abuja, Asaba, Owerri, Aba, Akwa Ibom, that is Uyo, and Port Harcourt. So they scatter there. So all their property on our website, people can also go to our website to be able to check the property that they want. Like Dr. Oladipo now has property in Lagos and in Abuja. He has apartment, he has duplex. Terrace duplex in Bagada. That if you are interested in it, he has land in Mowe, Obafemi Owode, Ikorodu. He has land in Abuja. So if you want to buy and you don't have money, no problem. Asset Plus will finance it for you at 9% per annum. And it's so exciting because Asset Plus have been a blessing to countless people. Like Madiba that Dr. Olumide Emmanuel even talk about, because usually you go to our website, the equity you pay, minimum equity is 20%. So the way it works is simple. You pay 20% of the equity of that property to the owner of the property. So Asset Plus will pay the remaining 80. So if you pay 20, we pay 80. You pay 30, we pay 70. You pay 40, we pay 60. So we'll be the one to balance the owner. All you need to do is to pay equity to the owner of the property. And the moment you pay your equity, you sign our MOU, we give you an offer letter, you have the property, you can take possession. The only thing that the ownership title is not transferred to you until you complete the payment, but you can make use of the property. So if there's any of a partner in the house that you like, you can move to the house just by paying your equity. So it's not that you make use of it after. So when people talk about trust, we've broken that issue. Why? Because these companies that we deal with, they are companies we have investigated. Like Dr. Olumide said, if you want to break issue of distrust, do investigation. So they are companies that we know they start on integrity, because one thing we need to understand is that we can't think everybody in Nigeria is fraudulent. No, there are people that are trustworthy. I can bet you, Dr. Olatunbosun, I can close my eyes and sign document for him. Dr. Olumide Emmanuel, I can close my eyes and sign document for him. They can't defraud me. So also the remaining company. So they are just 9. I understand our plight. Think about 3 years ago, a pastor came to me and said, sir, I want to resign where I work. I said, why do you want to resign? He said, sir, we don't have land. And we are selling land. And this is the reason why we are just few companies that we do business with. I told him, go and resign, because if you don't have land and you are marketing land, that is fraud. And truly, we have many people that are defrauded. I mean, last year, my sister in US come and said, wow. She was so excited about Asset Plus. He said, we have been defrauded. He said, it means that you have done your investigation, you know these people, you have boosted our trust. And today, a lot of our customers in diaspora, they are happy. And it will amaze you, they are also our marketers. Why? Because it's like, some people ask you, is it 9% per month? I said, no. Is 9% per annum. At the 9% is not on the value of the properties, on the reducing balance. Say, wow. So a lot of them too, they are our marketers. They market for us. They even get commission and bonuses because we have streamlined everything. Our system is automated and everything like that. So I want to say today, so these are companies with integrity. And by the grace of God, they are companies with capacity. I mean, when you look at common sense, Dr. Olumide Emmanuel, not only has he raised billionaires, he's a billionaire. His company worth billions. And when you look at Dr. Olatunbosun, he's in billions. So they are not in millions, they're in billions. So these are companies with capacity that we deal with. So they are not only having integrity, because it's one thing to have integrity, it's another thing to have capacity. Because if you have integrity, you don't have capacity, there will still be a loss. But when somebody has integrity, I mean, when you give the person money, we not just say, I lost the money. Before I tell you that he's lost, he has first of all given you the money. After he has given you the money, he can now say, that money you get with me, I actually lost it. Say, yes, that is a man of integrity and a man of capacity. He could actually be telling you the truth. I lost the money, and it could be true. But when somebody has integrity and a capacity, so Dr. Olumide Emmanuel is only just a man of integrity, he's a man of capacity. Dr. Olatunbosun, you can see him say, I can't defend myself. And truly, when you're a man of integrity, you have capacity, you don't need to talk too much. It's when people are lying, that is when people talk too much. So these are men of capacity. If you want to buy any of their property, Asset Plus will finance it for you. All you need to do is to pay your equity to them, and you have your property. And I remember 2024, the countryside that Dr. Olumide Emmanuel was introducing to, he did a pre-loan 500,000. By April 1st, that property will be 10 million. Why? Because the place is being developed. Sorry, they're about to change power. In our estate, we actually have light for 24 hours, but they just took light now. So please, bear with us. You understand? So light will come. So I don't know what they use, either is generally. So we have like 24 hours where I live. So, but I think one goes off, they want to switch another one. So sorry for that. So, like I said, these are men with capacity, these are men with integrity, and their vision align with us. And I will tell you why their vision align with us. Their vision align with us in such a way that, look, when a property worth 2 million, they don't sell it for 10 million. You understand? Why? Because there are people into real estate, they just package it, property of 2 million, they want to sell it for 10 million. How do you finance that kind of stuff? So their vision align with us. Like Dr. Mide Mane was telling you about the Madiba palm tree. Presently, a plot of land for palm tree that is fruiting is about 5 million or 5 million plus. Plot of land that is already fruiting. So now his own now will be fruiting probably in 4 years' time. That is going for 6 million. So just look at it, how much it means in the next 4 years, apart from the value of the land and the value of the agricultural trees on those land. So that is it. Some of the property of, I watch them because we are in the industry. We see, just as we finance for other, we are also buying property because we know tomorrow. I mean, I was shocked today. Thank you, light is working. So I was shocked today when Dr. Ladipo was in Wash Out 2030. The rich and the poor, that'll be a division. So that is how it works. So when people make up their mind, I want to just limit myself to Dr. Olumide Mane and Olatunbosun. So we have other products on our website. And another good thing for you in Diaspora is that you can also be our ambassador. Ambassador are people that actually, there are a lot of ambassadors. By the grace of God, we have over 200 ambassadors. They are our independent marketers. They tell people about what to do. We have automated our system in such a way that people have their special link and everything like that. So if you want to become an ambassador, you can actually meet Mr. Bosun. He will give you a link how to become an ambassador. You understand? He will just give his link or his code so you can become an ambassador. So as an ambassador, you make money from 2 levels. From your, you make money from your effort and from the effort of others. So the way it works is that, let's say, for example, we finance, maybe you brought somebody that needed to finance a property of 200 million. So, we give you 2.5%. So that 2.5% is 5 million. Just that is your commission. So for bringing somebody, that is all. And you can also bring another ambassador too. So if you bring another ambassador, you can bring as many ambassadors as possible. The more ambassadors you bring, the more money for you. If you bring another ambassador, when that person has 5 million, it's a commission. Asset Plus will give 20% of that. That person collects 5 million. You collect 20%, which is 1 million. For doing nothing, just because that person comes through you. And you can always see it on your dashboard. You see commissioner, you see your commission, you see your bonus. The sales system is automated. You can see all the people under you and everything. I remember last year, I posted something to people in diaspora. I said, you can make thousands of dollars. Somebody said, fraud. I just kept quiet because it doesn't know. You see, sometimes, just like Dr. Olumide Mane said, he said, sometimes people say what they have never experienced. Last Saturday, we hosted Dr. Olumide Mane. If I tell you what some people are made by bringing somebody, it will amaze you. If you know what they have earned just by bringing people, because that is what we are doing. It make it easy. I mean, land is not suya that you hit. And they say, why is money? Say, I will bring money tomorrow. Land is land. So some people say, why are you? Land does not disappear. It's not importation, it's not exportation. Land is there. House is there. If you want to interested in Dr. Olumide Mane land now or house now, you can move there tomorrow. If we conclude some of the property of Dr. Olatunbosun, you can move there, and some of them like that. So we have property in different parts of Lagos that we finance. So You can be our ambassador. You make money. So you can get the link from from Mr. Bosun. So you can become an ambassador. This is how you make money, because I tell you, I'm so happy to be speaking to those people of you in diaspora, because you're in a system where you can make money. But don't forget, there's this place where you can multiply the money. And the place where you can multiply the money is in Nigeria, not just in any African country. Nigeria, Lagos, especially around Lagos, Abuja, this is a place where you can multiply the money. So you are not buying. So when you are talking about trust, if you are buying from Monile, there may be a problem with trust. I too have had issue, but you are buying from a company, registered company, they have document and everything like that. I mean, you don't have problem. You understand? So if you are able to believe them, I think you should be able to believe them. You understand? Because if you don't have the money, we'll do it for you. So this your trust totally erased. So I want to appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much for inviting me. And I believe you can take advantage of our mortgage finance to own real estate. Own as many as possible. Buy land, buy houses, because it will amaze you. I was telling them in my church, I said, the property I bought in my hometown, because I tell them, buy anywhere, buy property anywhere. You can't buy in Lagos, go to your hometown. Everywhere, you will know, because of population, everywhere we keep increasing. Even in my hometown, everybody is being careful now. They don't want to sell their property, because I'm acquiring property to even my own place, because I know what it means to acquire property. It's a matter of time. 5 years time, 10 years time, 15 years time. Some of the property you are buying today for 2 million, it will amaze you what will happen. So again, it's good for me to say that if you are buying Dr. Lumide Emmanuel palm tree, either the one of 6 million or the one of 15 million, you can get to Mr. Amao. We can finance it to the tune of 90%. You just pay equity of 10%, you spread the remaining for 1 year. As a plot we finance up to 90%. So you can get to Mr. Mao, collect our form from him, fill the form, tell us you want to buy hectares. There are people that we are financing hectares for. There are people we are financing acres for. So just get across to him and say, oh, I'm interested. I want to buy acres. It's a special package we actually, because we believe in what he's doing, we believe in him. Because if you say one plot, say 1 acre, 6 plot is 6 million, documentation, maintenance, everything. No. So, and like Dr. Olatunbosun Amao said, he said, look, some of the property we are having, the rich land and everything, this land are still very cheap. Tomorrow it will amaze you. One of my members called me, he's in Europe. He called me about in December. He said, sir, the property I bought for 250 in 2018 is now 8 million. What should I do? I say, leave it. Let it continue to grow. And funny enough, he has only 1 plot. I say, why did you not buy 2 plots? So when you are investing to Nigeria, invest in Nigeria with the mind of tomorrow. Invest into company that you can trust. You may not be able to trust your brother, but there are people you can trust. I tell people, just like Dr. Lumide Emmanuel say, look, if you cannot trust people, you yourself cannot be trusted. Like those people, the person that is having say, I make money, I don't know real estate. Real estate is the real stuff. So I appreciate every one of you. God bless you. I believe if there is question, I think I'll be ready to answer the question. God bless you. Thank you, Mr. Bosu. I appreciate you. Thank you, everyone in the diaspora. Thank you for having me.
Sir. Thank you. It's a privilege for having you. And I got comment at the back as you're talking that they were really feeling you, sir. Yeah, the people were reaching out to me. So thank you for the presentation. I'm getting some questions here. Someone said, what is the duration of borrowed funds?
What duration is what?
Duration of borrowed funds, so maybe what's the length of,
So that our mortgage finance is maximum of 3 years. Because our interest is low, so also our tenor is low, so we are trusting God to be able to move to 5 to 7 years. It's not like those ones that you have in diaspora 20 years, 30 years. No. You understand? We believe that it's not about, you can't get this thing in the bank. No way. No way, no way. No, CBN is 27. But this is the what we believe so much in real estate. So it's maximum 3 years, you understand? But depends on the value. Like this Dr. Lumide Manena, we're actually doing it for just only 1 year, 12 months. Except for people that are buying hectares. If they are buying hectares, we can do for maybe 18 months, 2 years, and everything like that. So we do up to 3 years, depends, because there's some property that we finance that is over 600 million. So those ones that are 600 million, we can do 3 years. 300 million, we can do 3 years, but not property that are not, so people can do. And one beautiful thing about us is that if we agree with you for 12 months, you pay our interest for 6 months, we will divide, we will only collect 4.5 for 6 months. So that is one of the things we do. Okay, if you are doing 6 months, it'll be 4.5. If you are doing 1 year, it's 9%. Now, please, if you are doing 2 years, it's not 9%, it's 13.5 per annum. And if you are doing 3 years, it's 15%. So that is on the reducing balance. If it's 1 year, it will be 9%. If you are doing 2 years, it will be 13.5% times 2, that will be 25% of the reducing balance. If you are doing 3 years, it will be 45% of the reducing balance. And I think it's still okay in that way, you understand, compared to bank, which is over 30% per annum, but that is it. So we definitely actually want it to be short. So it's good for us. So thank you. And it will be a property. So like Dr. Lumide Emmanuel now, we are doing 12 months, depends. It's only those people that are buying large, we can actually do for 18 months, 24 months. So thank you very much. Have I answered that question?
Yes, I think you answered. Is there any other questions for Dr. Sir?
Huh?
I said, I think you answered the question, sir.
Very much.
Okay. Someone is asking, for the ambassador thing. I will post some contacts in the chat. If you need any information on the ambassador that Pastor spoke about, so please check the comment section. You can either reach out to me or reach out to Oluwaseun Kojusola. We can walk you through that. Yeah. Any other questions for either Pastor Shaw or for Dr. Clemens? We don't want to go past 2 p.m. Central Time. Sir?
Can I quickly say this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for those of you that you want to become an ambassador, please meet Mr. Bosun. And if you're interested in any property of Dr. Lumide Emmanuel, if you don't have you want asset plot financing, meet Mr. Bosun. So he will give you our finance form so you can be able to fill it. And I will drop with him too, okay, the account number of Dr. Lumide Emmanuel. So you just pay 10% if you are buying just only the palm tree. But if you are buying his house or any other thing, anything you want to buy, you can just meet Mr. Bosun. But if you are buying the palm tree, asset plot can finance it to the tune of 90%. So, and if you want to buy anything too from Dr. Olatunbosun Clement, you can get more detail from Mr. Bosun. So if you don't have the money, you want to mortgage, Mr. Bosun. So we make our form available to him. So, and you can start from there, begin to build wealth to real estate by doing this. It will amaze you what will happen the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you once again, Pastor Shaw. Love Joel is asking, okay, opportunity to work with them. I'll soon be a graduate. Yeah, when you finish, when you become a graduate, you can reach out and we can walk you through possible opportunities.
It will amaze you that we have For students that are working with us, they work remotely. So you can work remotely. You can be an ambassador. So finish your school before you work with us. You can start. Morning. Good morning. Thank you.
That's right, sir. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll still leave room for a few minutes for questions, but I just want to touch on one or two things that, Pastor also touched on. And I like to go practical because, like I said, there are people that know me here. When I came to Canada, my thought was that I'm not going back to Nigeria. I won't do anything in Nigeria. But I'm using myself as an example. The last time I went to Nigeria, I grew up in Ilorin, and I went to a place I know how much they are selling land. Um, they are selling land at that place for 50 million now. This is a place where maybe when I started my career, when I was still working in the bank in Nigeria, you can buy it for 200,000, 300,000. You see land there. And I was asking myself, okay, so what if I've invested? I mean, as a banker, then you had money that you won't spend, you maybe we've wasted, into other things. What if I bought 10 plot of land there? We are talking of 500 million naira above now, you know. And there's a place I went to that I took opportunity of it. So I'm not telling you to come and do what I've not done. And immediately I came back, I shared with a friend of mine who is on this call as well, who also took opportunity in that place, because by the time I went there, they were still selling land for 1 million naira. And by the time I did the search, there's a plan by government for that land, which means maybe in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, what we are talking about is not what we are talking about, today. And I've seen countless. It took me to another place where uh, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, they are selling land for 1 million or thereabouts. I'm telling you, there currently, because of what they did there, land is being sold between 35 million and 50 million. And I told a friend of mine who I said, a good friend who is on this call, and he took opportunity there as well. So we don't need to wait for the right opportunity. They are all around us. I can't show you every opportunity that we have, but we have land as low as 750,000. We have houses, through Life Page and all the companies we partner with. If you need more information, you can always reach out to us. But again, if you have any questions, otherwise I will allow Pastor Shaw to give like the final thoughts, and then maybe Dr. Clement to give the final thought as well. Pastor Shaw, do you have any final thoughts or message for us?
Chinese proverb, at the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Now the second best time is now. I'm happy that you are sharing your own experience. The land you can bought for 200,000 is now 50 million. And I will share with you, close with this. Sometimes, like last year, there was a man that is in UK that is actually in London. He wants to retire, and he said, "Can we finance a duplex for him in Lagos mainland for about?" He said, "I think the land the budget is 80 to 100 million." I told him, "You can't even get a land." Talk less of less of. He has worked for probably close to 40 years. He wants to return back home. He never had the saving even to buy the 100 million, even if it's available. He's still turning to Asset Plus to come and finance for him. Imagine if he had been investing into land here and there and there. Probably by the time he gathered them now, because he lives in a system where he makes money. If he had started that 20 years ago, today we have more than 1 billion and buy, sell this, sell this, sell this, sell this, sell this, and he will just be able to get his dream property. That same last year too, somebody that worked in University of Lagos say, can I get a, and this is a top person in the university. He said, if you can get, okay, the person said, Mr. Osho, I want a house. I can access, I can get part of my pension. So can get me. I said, how much is your pension? He said, that I can get about 5 million. They are 57 years. I said, get land where? You can get land in the inside bush. So he doesn't even have the money to buy the land. And he want to buy a house. How much is the house? A lot of people are taught off from reality. I laugh. I said, what I will tell you, if I met you 20 years ago, what I would have told you is what I will tell you now that you have about 8 years to go in the university. The land you can afford, begin to buy them now. Probably in the next 8 years, you can buy a plot per year or 2 plots per year. In that 8 years, you may have about 15 plots. By that time, only God knows what it means. Each of those could be, maybe one will be 15, one will be 20, one will be 30. At that time, you'll be able to achieve it. But you have lost 27 years. Just playing, thinking life will continue like that in the university. Now it's now dawned on you that you are left on 27. So the best time to now do, the second best time is now. So if Mr. Bosun could not buy the house land for 200,000 when he was working in the bank and he had the money, now it's now 50 million. Hey, so I appreciate Mr. Bosun for creating this forum to prepare people for tomorrow. And God bless you. Dr. Ladipo.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Man is man of integrity to the. He represents integrity. His company represents integrity. I mean, I was talking to somebody that is a property of his that we finance, and we had a meeting during the week, and he was not there. I said, Mr. Oladipo will not be in the meeting. I said, because he believes system must work. He doesn't push anybody to do anything. He believes those people he put in there, they understand his value and they must do it. I told the person, I said, can you say he didn't come for the meeting? I mean, somebody is in Canada, he's a doctor, he bought property, one of his property in Bagada and everything like that. So I tell you, this is the time to begin to invest. Because what you don't buy today, it may be unaffordable in 5 years' time. Unaffordable. So you want to buy his land, you want to buy his house. He's building house in Mowe. He has houses in depends on your level. You understand? If you want Lekki, no problem. You want Ikoyi, no problem. But start with your level, start now. You understand? The bush today will be a city tomorrow. That is what Dr. Olumide Emmanuel used to say. And the city today was a city yesterday. So thank you, everybody. To exit for another.
Thank you, sir.
Let's Mr. Bosun. Thank you for having. So thank you. So Dr. Ladipo, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Bye.
Okay, sir. Thanks, sir. So Dr. Clements.
Well, a lot has been said already. There's no point putting ice on the cake. I think one thing that's fundamental here, and I want everybody to write this down, the most valuable asset on planet Earth is Earth in itself. The most valuable asset on planet Earth is Earth in itself. And that's why it never expires. It has no expiry date. And I love what Pastor Shaw said. What you can afford today may be unaffordable tomorrow. And we've seen it play out again and again and again. As someone who has played in this capital market space, money market space in the past, I know the difference between real estate and other asset classes. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong if you consider other asset classes, but real estate is a real investment. As someone who has played in other, we moved transactions in billions. in the stock market, and I've heard of stories of people who developed stroke because market crashed, right? When it comes to real estate, particularly in a cash-dominated, cash-driven society like Nigeria, they crash. Real estate, they crash. So you will not be going wrong if you invest in real estate. Just a quick thoughts I just feel I should share, especially when it comes to real estate. What is real estate? Real estate is land, anything above it, anything below it. That is real estate. Real estate is land. Just trying to simplify things, just to make it easy for people to understand. It's land, anything on top of it, including crops, buildings, and all of that, and anything below it. If you're buying real estate, there are three things that increases the value of real estate. Three things I just want you to take to heart. One is infrastructural development, right? Whether it is private sector led or public sector led infrastructural development or public-private partnership. Those are key things that drives value of real estate. And then is the quality of people that migrate to that territory. That's what increases the value of real estate. And then finally is artificial scarcity. When people who are buying the parcel of land or parcels of land are not buying it to feed now, they are buying for future. Demand will continue to rise, but supply will continue to diminish. And when there's more demand than supply, the value continues to rise. So that three key things that drive value of real estate everywhere in the world, particularly in Nigeria. The next thing I want to say is that three reasons people buy land. I'm sorry, I know I'm supposed to give a parting word, but reasons people buy land is they buy land to build. For obvious reasons, nobody builds in the sky, everybody builds on land. So people buy land to build. They buy land to keep as a store of value. And they buy land with the intention to sell later, either to fund the future projects, college education, business projects, and all of that. Now, if you are going to buy the land to keep, then you have to keep it safely. And that's where three key important steps you must take when whatever thing you are buying. When it has to do with real estate, make sure you do these three things: documentation, take possession, and occupation. Documentation, possession, and occupation. By documentation, we mean get all the deeds, all the survey. If the property already has title, fantastic. If it does not, perfect your title and all of that. And then by possession, we mean engage that land, which is where the agricultural dimension comes in. You can build on it, you can lease it, whatever. And then number three is occupation, which is essentially to be on ground. So if you take possession of the land, you fence it, you secure the land. But if you take occupation, you utilize the land. That gives you, that's part of the things to do to secure the land. I want to believe that with these few things that we've shared, there's a lot more we could share. We believe that we've been able to provide a little guidance. Thank you so much, Mr. Bosun, for hosting this program. And then thank you everyone for making time out to be a part of it. We look forward to seeing everybody at the top.
Well, thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate you again. It's an honor. This has been very insightful. Thank you for coming on to Pastor Shaw and Dr. Lumide as well. Like I said, initially my plan was to say, okay, let me share a little bit of some of those properties that are available, but there are tons of opportunity. We've talked about Madiba. Like I told us, we have property as low as 750, and you can get to it. One of the things I was thinking of, even when we were planning this thing, is I know people in the diaspora who will say they have $5,000, but they can't get into real estate here, but they've been waiting for 3-4 years, not doing anything. Imagine that $5,000 is 5 million. Imagine what you could have bought. They've been talking about the land that Dr. Lumide has. It was pre-launched 2 years ago for 500,000 naira. Actually, that land, my partner and one of my team members, Sheon Kojisola, told me after the pre-launch, and I was angry because I was going to buy like 10 plots. So when he told me it was already 1 million, I think, and I was angry too, I said, okay, because it has moved, I won't buy it. We are talking of 2 years ago. They are selling the land now for 10 million naira. So I was angry with just 1 million because he moved from 500,000. But imagine those who bought it at the launch at 500,000. So that's what I'm saying. Instead of holding that $1,000 you have, thinking until we get 200,000, 100,000 to do real estate here, there are a ton of opportunities. Uh, you know, no, Madiba is not 750. I'm just saying Madiba is the palm tree. I'm just saying that there are lands, that are like 750, so you can get as low as that, and you can get above that as well. Um, I don't know if I mean we are two already, and like I said, I don't want to take us past two. So again, let me use this opportunity to thank everyone. I'm putting some contact on the screen. If you need more information, you can contact any of these numbers. You can take a screenshot. You can, copy it, and we'll be glad to provide more information for you and guide you through. And then, like I always say, remember, we are not dealing with people who are not, men of integrity. We have few companies that we have on our list, and we always guide you through those. And life page of Dr. Olatunbosun is mainly one of those. Thank you, everyone. I think we'll call it a night now, or maybe a day, wherever you are. I appreciate all of you. I could see your names. Thanks for joining. And like Dr. Olatunbosun ended, looking to see everyone at the top. Bye.